Hello, everyone. My name is Jackie Nguyen. Today, I have top services for you. Today is a open house. Thank you for joining me. We are recording this presentation. It's not really a presentation, it's more a navigation for top services for the semester of fall 2023. I know that we have a lot of new students joining joining the community college. So we want to make sure that we record this just in case students need to refer back to that information. This again will be posted on our YouTube channel. If you go to YouTube and you just type in top, like UC Davis top, you should be able to find our channel. Let me go ahead and share my screen right now. You should be able to see this. Quickly, I just wanted to see in the room, how many of you had already gone to our top website? Have you ever visited our top website? You can use the chat to let me know if you have. If you're familiar with it, perfect. So a few of you had already gone to our top website, but our top website is pretty simple. I'm going to put it in the chat really quick. It's www.ucdavis.edu/top. That's the shortcut, but if you type it out, it's going to have like the cookie crumb on this right here, but regardless, whichever one that you decide to pick on, you're going to get to the same website anyways. On our top website, you're going to see, a little bit of the description of who we are and what we do. We are a transfer prep. We are from UC Davis. We are admissions recruiters. We are advisor. We are your support system other than your community college, transfer center. So in our website, there are a couple places that you want to pay attention to. One is this little nice button right here would say view virtual events. We want to make it as accessible to you as much as possible. So for virtual, we have a whole curriculum. We have so many content on here, y'all. We have group advising, which are smaller setting, just kind of like us, like right now, it's a smaller setting. It's going to focus on your major, your college at Davis. It's going to provide you some lab depending on what it is that you're working on at the time. There's Tap and a Snap. This is our last one for the season and to prepare for tag. So if any of you are fall 2024 applicant, please consider go to a Tap and a Snap, or if we run out, please go to your community college transfer center to just sit down with somebody there just to go over the UC TAP account to make sure that everything you put in the UC TAP account is accurate and it reflects your transcript. It has to be identical. So this is our last one. We've been offering it since May, this whole summer. So this is our last one for the season. If you are fall 2024 applicant and you have not met with your one-on-one, like your advisor, like your top advisor, that to learn about your UC Davis eligibility and things like that, please make sure you register for that. We have back-to-back session, so that's there. We also have like coffee chat, which is kind of office hours. If you have quick questions and things like that, or if your advisor ran out of appointment, you can always register for those. I personally also offer office hours, so just make sure you look at, if you are my student, just make sure you look at my page, and I'll show you how to navigate that in a little bit. And then again, if your major is engineering, obviously it's going to be under College of Engineering, right? So you might want to register for those particular colleges and that house your major to learn a little bit more about graduation requirement, to learn a little bit more about your major, your college, what is required once you get to UC Davis, right? And then some of the services that they provide at in those colleges, so that when you're becoming a student here at Davis, you already know what are some of the services that they provide and who are the staff that provide those services for you. And if we go down to here, there's also PIQ Roundtable, again, for fall 2024 student. You need to work on your PIQ, right? So just make sure you utilize that. And if you run out, if you didn't register to one of those, you could always go to the writing center at your community college or the transfer center at your community college to make sure you get additional helps. Okay, so we have 2 sessions right there that's available. There's no limit. If you register to one and you want to go to another one, that's completely fine if you need help, right? And if you already finished your PIQ and you want to help others, you can also sign up and just let us know, and then we could pair you up with another student that you can help them with. Okay. And then the other part for virtual, we also have Top Thursday. It always happen on Thursday. Every other Thursday we provide a lecture, okay? And these lecture cover various content. We cover transfer journey, we cover financial literacy, we cover like college plan, how to maximize your time at your community college, things like that. We're doing it so well that our director wanted us to share our content, some of our content, with statewide. So that's why you're going to see something like this. We are in conversation with our CRM folks, like our IT folks, to add another kind of like tab right here that would say undergrad admissions event, because these are the events that we're hosting. So if you click on that, you're going to see these nice 6 content that we curated for top particularly, but because it's widely applied, so they wanted for us to also offer that to statewide, basically all transfer students. And so but these right here, you guys don't have to fight with with spots. So there are still virtual labs. Again, if you are fall 2024 students and you didn't go to a virtual lab and you need help on UC application, please go to register to them. There's another opportunity. We already had, I think last week we had the section 1 to 3 already done. This week we have the 4 to 6. And then again, we're going to repeat that again in October, right? Before the applications due in November. So use this link and the link that we click on earlier to kind of know what kind of workshop you should be attending, right? And most of them also have description. So if you click on, let's say this one, turn tab to tag. If you look at it, if you read it, there's usually, some notation on here for you why it's, what kind of workshop is it? What are the learning objectives, right? What are you going to gain when you're there? What do you need to do to be prepared for those sessions? Labs usually take a little bit more work versus like, being lectured at, right? When you're going to a workshop that you're just being lectured at, you're not going to have homework assignment prior to going to those, but there are some where you do need to do some work prior to attend. So an example is maybe the PIQ. I can show you the PIQ roundtable really quick. There are some instructions. So all of our workshop has instructions. When you register to them, please make sure you read them, because I want you to be in the right place. I don't want you to register to something that you already know, right? And sometimes when you learn something, you have to kind of learn it multiple times before you can actually learn it. So if that's you, that's completely fine. But if you feel like you already know the content and the, what we're covering is not going to be a good use of your time, then please make sure you read the instructions so that you can answer that for yourself, whether it's going to be a good use of your time or not, right? For example, here for PIQ Roundtable, again, we kind of give you a short description of what the heck is it, right? Like the PIQ, what is that, right? Also, before you go to the meeting, these are some stuff that you need to do, right? So that you can be ready to share that with another peer so that you can help each other in that particular session, okay? And we also have a lot of volunteer during this time too, and there are limit in terms of space. So for each of the lab, because of like staffing reasons, we only can service, a certain amount of students. So again, if you don't get into PIQ Roundtable or any labs, just make sure you utilize, the services at your community college, okay? Or the counselor at your community college. So those are basically that. And I'm gonna go back to our top website one more time, because I only show you, the virtual part. But the other part that students usually ask me is, well, what do I need to do next, right? Like I'm applying this year. What do I need to do next? And here are some steps to success. You need to make sure your tab is created and accurately identical, to your transcript, right? And then you would want to meet with the UC representative or CSU representative at your school. And I feel like these steps are pretty standard, and it doesn't matter if it's going to UC Davis or going to UC Berkeley or Irvine or any other UCs in the system or CSU in the system. I think that it's important for you to, if the system has a tool to use, then you definitely should use the tool. So for the UC system, all of the UC campuses use UC Tab. So you need to use you need to create a UC Tap account. And then for top services particularly, we require UC Tap if you want services from us, right? So start with that. CSU also have something similar, to the portal, but it doesn't call UC Tap. I think it's called Transfer Pathway. They just launched it this year if you are applying to CSU. And then the second step is, of course, you always want to make sure that you reach out to the representative in the admissions office at that particular school, right? Because meeting with your counselor alone is sometimes not enough, because they are not experts at admission. They're not the one that's reviewing your application when you apply. So it's always smarter and less stress when you contact that particular university directly, so they can tell you off the bat whether you have eligibility or not. And then next, if you are qualified for tag, if your major has tag, if you all those things, you can submit your tag, and your tag is usually due in September. And then along with that, you also need to submit your UC application, which is it's open right now already, but it's due October to November 30th. Okay. And this is what we can help you with. You can see here, all of our top advisor can help you with these. Please keep in mind that we do not sit down with you to write your PIQ. We are not English teachers. Okay. So please don't ask us to do PIQ reading. Okay. So there are spaces for that. So please make sure you utilize those spaces. And again, go to the writing center or hit up your English teachers for that. There are some deadlines that I just kind of covered a little bit ago. I saw your questions in the chat. I will address them in a few minutes. Just give me a second. Okay. Next. The other thing that I want to tell you too is that we also host annual events. This past summer, we just hosted Aggie to Be, which was a summer residential program at Davis. And then we also had ATSW, we also just finished that. And then going into March 1st, we're going to have a big transfer empowerment conference called Discover UC Davis. So this is already a lockdown date. So if you are interested, just go to your transfer center and just let them know that you're interested. And then they could provide you like busing information, field trip forms you need to fill out, and then they can take you to Davis to participate in that conference. And then there was a question in the chat earlier. You asked me, how do I find out, right? How do I find out who my college advisor is? If you're talking about top advisor, this is one way that you can find out who that is. So let's say, David, would you mind letting me know what school you're from? You can use the chat and then I can take a look for you. Are there a way to find online before I go there in person? Yeah, you definitely don't need to go in person. Berkeley. Okay, perfect. So you can see here, Berkeley City College is right there. Berkeley used to be serviced by Pam Blanco, which is our director, our assistant director. Our associate director for top, and this year is going to be serviced by Kimberly. So that's one way for you. That's the quickest way for you to find out who your UC Davis representative is. Okay, now if your question is, I just want to know how to navigate. Like, for example, if I want to go to Berkeley, how do I know who is the representative at Berkeley, right? Or, to answer that question, you could go to your transfer center. You talk to your coordinator at the transfer center, and you can ask them, hey, who is the representative, or what's their email? Sometimes before you go to the transfer center, you could also find it online too, right? So sometimes they will host that online. I know that at some of my community college, the transfer center would release our contact information on the website. So, 10 out of 10 times you should be able to find it on there. But if you can't find it, you can always do like a Google search. For example, let's say for UC Davis, I'm going to find my advisor. So this Find My Advisor tool is kind of like pretty standardized now across the UC system. I think Berkeley is using it as well. I know that a few other UC campuses are using it as well. At Davis, this is what we're using. We're using it because of our territory managers. So for example, here, if I was to type in Berkeley City College, right, and I'm clicking on that and I'm going to click Find My Advisor, it should take me straight to Kim. Oh, this is Pam still. That's weird. Yeah, this is Pam, the one that I was telling you earlier. They need to update that, but it was a terrible example, but I'm glad that I found it because then I can let our CRM staff know that they need to update this. They are going through a bunch of updates right now, and so I'm not surprised that it's not done yet, since we don't actually start out doing outreach and recruitment until September, right? So they still have a little bit more time, but that's how you find out. Another one is like, let's say for me, if you're a Sac City student, if I was to click on that, and I'm going to be able to find my page, which is right there, and it will clearly tell you which school that I service. And a couple things I want to run through these really quick with you. Once you find your top advisor website, right? You're going to see the name, you're going to see the school that they service. You're going to also see that, you know, we do require a tap, you know, and a complete tap, okay, not like halfway done. And then you can also see what we can help you with. You can see, you know, our appointments. Sometimes if you see, oh my gosh, she doesn't have any appointment, it usually means that it's booked. It doesn't mean that I don't have any. It just means that as soon as I release them in that month, they go bye-bye, because you guys watch it like a hawk. And I don't have one-on-one appointment every single day, and so but that's not the only way to meet with me. You can also contact me if your tap is up to date. I can look at your tap and I can tell you exactly what's going on with your record and your eligibility. And if we have time today, I can look at you guys' stuff today too. If you are a fall 2024 student, and if you just want to hear my feedback in regard to how ready you are with tag and stuff like that, I can totally give you those answers as well. Okay. I like to kind of like get more things done for you before you leave to the next room. Okay, so here's another tab that you want to pay attention to. This one is kind of nice because these are events that I'm hosting. They're usually a combination of in person and online. So anything that say online will obviously be online, right? But anything that's in person. So for example, right here, we have Transfer Day College Night, which is like a big transfer fair at your community college. So if you ever wonder like, oh, when is Jackie gonna come to my school next? Or when is Kim is gonna come to my school next? Or Pam, or Fabian, or Lisa, right? So any of our staff, you can find that in the event that they're hosting. Another thing that you're gonna find is that if any of the staff offer office hours, particularly for only their students, it will also be on that in that tab, right? So like, for example, I offer office hours because I understand that I don't have a lot of one-on-one appointments, right? So I offer office hour as another way to to overflow into something else, so that you guys don't like you still get the help that you need. And then if you see here, I also like travel to other schools for transfer fairs as well. And then per request, this list is going to get updated as it go, because I do reach out to your community college. And then lastly, the virtual workshop, this should look similar to the one that you click on earlier, right? Like the page originally that I showed you. So this is basically our top Thursday. And then this is our group advising. Again, there's a lot of different content here. Please make sure we release all of them already. So please make sure you register for them, if you need that content. But that's basically it. I'm going to go ahead and stop recording. And again, I will post this on our YouTube channel. So if you like to refer back to it, feel free to check that out. And then once I stop recording, you can ask me any questions for the rest of the time that we have until 5 o'clock. I can look at your tab account. We can talk anything to make the most out of the 1 hour that we're spending together. Does that sound good with everybody?